welcome to this week's Locker Room episode. Glad you guys can join us on this rainy Friday evening. Excuse me real quick, guys. I'm just going to set this right there in front of the camera. Okay.
Can I throw that?
No, you're just going to stay right there. All right. I'm your host, Jacob Homan. Sitting here today with Mike Olson and Dylan Leatherwood as our special guest this evening. Thanks for guys coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. We haven't talked much about baseball at all, actually, this season, mainly because it's been the off season and it's just been kind of dry. But with this past week and as of yesterday, two of the hottest free agents on the market have both signed with their new respectable clubs. Manny Machado is signing a 10-year, $300 million deal with the San Diego Padres. And as of yesterday, Bryce Harper signing a new record, 13 years for $330 million for the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, just hearing those numbers is ecstatic. But that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So we'll be talking some baseball, seeing how we feel about these takes. I'll start with you, Mike, though. With Bryce Harper adding on to the Philadelphia Phillies, where do you think this gives the roster some depth? And is it a good fit for him? You know, it's 13 years, no opt-out. You know, it's a big contract.
I mean, from the Phillies' perspective, absolutely, this is a great deal. I mean, it's been the story of the offseason.
Yeah.
Like, I thought from day one he was going to the Phillies. I'm surprised it took this long.
Exactly,
but, I mean, it's a great move for the Phillies. If I was looking at a potential lineup earlier, and I mean, they're looking insane. They got Harper. I mean, their outfield, let alone, they added McCutchen as well, Andrew McCutchen. So, I mean, it's going to be a great move for the Phillies. Bryce seems to be very excited. Going to be making a lot of money, $330 million. The surprising part about it for me was that 13 years.
Yeah.
No opt-out, no trade clause. That's a long time. Bryce is 26. He's going to be 39 when this contract is over. And I mean, he seems like he wants to stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see how it works out for him.
What do you been thinking about it, Don?
Well, Mike, I feel your hair right now. The flow's looking great. I'm not feeling the take, though. I hate both deals with a passion.
Why is
I'm
that?
the type of baseball person where I believe plug-and-play players are the way to go. Fill in the gaps, fill in what you need, get the depth. This takes away depth because you have to factor in opportunity costs. I'm getting economical on you.
Okay, all right.
What money is taken away from other players? What can you go out and get that free agent left-handed specialist to get you that double play in the 8th inning deep in playoffs? Can you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, going off of that, I mean, the Phillies made it known they've been willing to spend the money. So, I mean, they're balling out this offseason in hopes to, bring a championship home. And I think they really put themselves in a good position to do that. But I totally understand that. I mean, it's a huge gamble. $330 million, that's a whole lot of money, more money than I can ever imagine having. So,
I mean, like you said, though, the Phillies did go all in.
Oh, yeah.
They're still going all in with, I know you didn't mention, but they also added Gene Segura, all-star shortstop, and JT Realmuto. They traded for him with the Marlins a couple weeks ago. He's arguably one of the best catchers right now in the league. So with that lineup they have now, interesting thing though, like you said, was about the money.
Yeah.
Like saving their money from other players and such. I mean, 2 years, or actually, Mike Trout isn't expected to sign his extension with the Los Angeles Angels. And everyone knows Mike Trout is a Philly native. So I mean, do you think that the Phillies could possibly still have enough cap room to grab like a player like Mike Trout in 2 years? Because I know he would love to play for the Phillies. Everyone knows that.
I don't really see it happening just because, I mean, Phillies aren't made of money. That is a lot of money, and especially because, in my opinion, Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. He's better than Harper.
Yeah.
He's got the stats to prove it. So if I was Mike Trout, I'd be like, okay, this guy's getting this much money. How much can I get? I'm better than this dude.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the Phillies would be able to cough that up.
Yeah, especially with looking for pitching too.
Yeah.
They were talking about adding Dallas Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell, but as of right now, after the Harper signing, the Phillies have apparently reported laid off on that. So,
and real quick, pitching is what wins games deep in the playoffs. That's what wins games. It gets colder.
Yeah.
You have guys that are tired from the season. Baseball needs pitching and depth. So, I mean, you look at the Yankees. I mean, they have all the hitting in the world, but they weren't playing for the World Series this year. I mean, even the Cubs, they kind of They were supposed to repeat. They didn't. So, yeah, I really think that pitching needs to be the priority from now for the Phillies.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting thing, though, is I actually saw about a week ago, before Bryce Harper's signing, as of right now, the highest slugging percentage in Citizens Bank Park history, Bryce Harper is atop that list with 564. That is, I mean, so we can definitely expect Bryce Harper to be hitting at least 40 homers throughout for the next couple of years in this stadium.
Out of all the ballparks he's visited, besides Nats Park, of course, that's where he's hit the most home runs in Citizens Bank Park. So I mean, I think he's going to have a great time in that ballpark, hitting a lot of dingers.
Yeah.
It's funny, though. Citizens Bank was originally designed to be a pitcher's park, but you had guys like Ryan Howard who would just pull down to that, I think it's like, what, 330 to the right pole?
Yeah, right field, yeah.
So it's pretty short over there, and balls just seem to be flying for some reason.
Yeah, I think Harper will definitely have, he'll definitely be in the talk for MVPs now with hitting those homers in Philadelphia, Phillies Park. But moving on to Manny Machado, how do you feel about Manny Machado? Do you think that like he's going to be playing like he was for the Dodgers last season for this ball club, or like do you think he'll like it there? I mean, I guess it's not. Maybe that's not why he chose to go there. Maybe it's just the $300 million that brought him there. But you know,
that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, definitely doesn't. But where do you feel? How do you feel Manny Machado is going to play for his new club?
I mean, I think he'll play fine as long as he stays healthy. I mean, Manny Machado's a great player. He's got great fielding, great hitting, all the stuff you look for a third baseman from the hot corner. He's got all that.
Yeah.
I still just think it's not the best deal. The Padres, even just a couple of years ago, they went all in on free agency. They went all in, and it backfired tremendously. Everyone thought they were going to have this great season. They signed like Matt Kemp, other players from the Dodgers, ironically, and it just didn't work out at all, and I see that kind of repeating in this scenario.
What do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly very surprised when I saw Machado go to San Diego. I think the money has a lot to do with it, and I know that's not what a lot of fans like to hear, but I mean, that's part of the game. It's a business. You want to make a lot of money. And I mean, you're playing in the city of San Diego. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful cities in America. So I mean,
he didn't have to travel
how can you turn that up? I mean, he was mainly deciding between Chicago and San Diego, and for a lot of people, that's a pretty easy decision about where you'd rather live. My concern with the Padres is that are they going to be able to put the pieces around him to be successful?
Yeah.
And that's where I feel the Phillies definitely have an advantage over that. We were talking about all the other players in addition to Harper, but Machado, there's not as much star power around him. So, but again, it's a 10-year deal, so it's an investment. I don't think they're going to be necessarily great this year, next year, but as that farm system gets working, hopefully they can produce some good players to put around him and have some success.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely want him to be the centerpiece of their franchise.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why they signed him, and we're definitely looking forward to make some progress after that. But since we're talking about baseball, now with these big additions throughout this offseason, not even just free agent signings, but trades with Robinson Cano in New York going to the Mets, a lot of players like him. Who do you feel is, like, right now your front runner for a World Series run next year?
Completely biased. I'm going to say the Braves. Completely biased.
Okay.
It's really just there's so much young talent, and they seem to be clicking. They seem to be having fun.
Yeah.
Chemistry is the biggest part of like good teams. They all have good chemistry. That's one of the biggest things in baseball that people don't really realize unless you're like in the clubhouse talking to the players. It's such an important part. Can you trust this guy to make a play for you and get you out of a jam? Can you trust this guy to get that clutch hit and get you the lead? I think the Braves, they trust each other. They're having fun. They got young, exciting talent. I like the Braves.
What about the Red Sox, though? I mean, I know they won the World Series last year, but I don't see that club slowing down anytime soon. It actually looks like a promising squad that they could keep going forward.
I don't either, but again, I mean, got to represent for the ATL real quick, you know.
I got to go with Jake. At the end of the World Series last year, I said with the team they had right now, I simply didn't see anyone beating them, especially in a postseason, a 5 or a 7 game series. I think they could beat anyone, and they maintained a lot of those key pieces. So, it's real hard to go back to back, but I think the Sox can do it.
Yeah, that's the only thing is just like repeating is really hard in baseball. I mean, like I said, the Cubs earlier, they were all running for a repeat and didn't happen. So
yeah, I feel you. With the Phillies, though, I think I hate to say it, but this is me being non-biased with Bryce Harper's addition. I think they have a shot.
You have the hat.
I have the hat, man. Of course I have the hat. I think they have a shot at winning the pennant this year because with Dodgers losing Yasiel Puig and Manny Machado, I mean, they've won the pennant the last 2 years. So if you think about the reigning NL pennant, we might be seeing a different ball club coming out the NL this year. It'll be interesting to play out, though, yeah, for sure. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today, though, guys. Thank you for coming on the show today and talking some baseball with me. It's always good talking some ball, right?
Yeah, it's always
love
good.
it. Baseball,
Yeah.
baseball's
quick.
back, baby.
All right, you're fired. All right, well, anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. Glad you joined us today, and we'll see you next week.